Good morning, my friends. This is Brekky In The Cave, as all the locked-in crew from early, kicking off with this one from East Coast. This one is Voyeur. Got an amazing show on the way, going to talk about everything in just a second, but for now, let's start our day nice and smoothly. Wonderful sounds on that one. We are live inside the cave. Out to everyone who's locked in already. It's going to be a fantastic show. I can let you know that right about now. It's just gone 3 minutes past 10 here. It is Thursday morning. We're in week 2 of lockdown. And yeah, it's going all right, to be honest with you. I got a little bit bored yesterday, I won't lie. First time so far during this unusual course of events, I have found myself becoming very, very bored. Like, I'm not someone who gets bored normally. I am someone who will normally like find something to do or find a new avenue or something like that. But I won't lie, I am slowly but surely running out of things to do, which is very unusual indeed. I'm sure I'll find a whole heap of new things to do. I'm going to find a way of planning in some additional YouTube content, or maybe even learning something new today, but that's the plan. So we've got an amazing show on the way. As I have been saying, we're going to be looking through a number of different topics. We're going to be looking at the fact that contactless payment has increased its limit across the UK. Presumably so, obviously, it's contactless. It helps with social distancing and things like that. We're also going to be looking into the fact that Club Penguin is back. Why is Club Penguin back? I don't know, but Club Penguin is apparently back. We're going to be looking at House Party and all these sort of rumours that are floating around House Party as an application. Also looking at a new iPhone app which auto mixes your tunes in the styles of the official top 12 DJs. So be interesting to look at. I mean, I'll probably very much disapprove of it. It's something I'm a little bit snobby about. I'd say DJing, it is something I'm a little bit snobby about. But yeah, we're also looking at a couple of other bits. We're going to be joined by a man like Demure, who's going to be on the show from around 10:30, a producer who I absolutely love. A new producer. I literally stumbled across him because of an EP that he had out, and I was reviewing it for Juno Download. And yeah, amazing sounds. We're going to be getting into everything he's working on as well. So there's loads of stuff on the way. You know how we do. We like to keep it nice and fresh. So we ran a couple of new bits yesterday. So we're going to what we try to do on this show is keep the vibes as fresh as possible every single morning. Like new tunes, new tunes, new tunes. So this one we're going to get into comes from a man like Inner Vision. Now this is a wicked sort of new school take on reggae flavors and reggae vibes. Very electronic, very kind of processed, but still has that original sort of swing sound to things. So it's going to be very enjoyable to get through indeed. Out to all the Locked In crew, as I said before, if you are locking in for the first time, please do subscribe to the channel. Please do leave a little comment in the live chat section, because that's exactly how we can keep these sociable things going on during these very unsociable times. I know everyone's locked up. I know everyone's getting a little bit kind of essentially bored of what's going on, but I can't help but feel we are going to be all stuck inside for a lot longer still to come. So I think we better get used to it, start having conversations with each other, and basically talking to people online. As I've said before, the majority of my life at the moment is spent in sort of online chat rooms or Discord pages or video chats and stuff like that. That seems to be the place that I am most of the time. So yeah, let's keep it sociable, people. Let's keep it sociable. This one coming from Inner Vision. This one goes by the name of Waste No Time. It features a million styles, and we're going to get into this one now. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cubcam YouTube channel.
Greetings in the name of the Most High Christ. When you rise in the morning, you have to give thanks for life. Don't bother idle and waste your time. Listen up, youth. Truth will set you free, no matter follow, no lie. One life to live, as I would say. Incoming the Mount Card in a vision alongside when I Mr. Million style. Talk to the youth.
Every time I take another breath, not a notice. To live another day and this your life. Opportunity can tighten up every connection and make us much stronger for the fight. Sometimes you need to roll that dice, no reward without risking. The right move, checkmate, you own the kingdom. You're giving a day to go, enjoy every moment. Well, might not be perfect, but just conquer. 110% real. And every day I wake up, strive to live positive. We not gonna let them action take away from the vision. Well, my core reaction is my own intuition. La la la, 110% real. And every day I wake up, strive to live positive. We not gonna let them action take away from the vision. Well, my core reaction is my own intuition. La la la, don't waste no time. Don't waste no time. 'Cause you never know just where you're at. No, 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 you never know just where you're at. No, don't waste no time. Don't waste no time. Yeah, 'cause you're never gonna get it back. No, 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 you're never gonna get it back.
Hey, living at the know, you have to live in at the know. Life is a movie, you the star in at the show. Once you fear the Lord, Him give you wisdom to know what to do and where you really supposed to go. Some see life like a whole heap of time to kill. Judge our work never stops, so no time to chill. Laziness is just like a poisonous pill. Flesh is weak, but the spirit make you find your will. Do your daily duties and don't waste no time.
Morning, Darb Surge.
Ain't open, but you're gone like you're blind. Truth will set you free while the
I will be getting a response to that in just a second.
But you got to keep trying, 'cause you will never get back the time where you lost. So better praise and show up with time on the cross. The only one perfect without any flaws. Keep your commandments and laws. When you rising in the morning, you have to give thanks for life. Don't bother idle and waste your time. Listen up, youth.
Don't waste no time. Don't waste no time. 'Cause you never know just where you're at. No, 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 you never know just where you're at. No, don't waste no time.
One life to live is I would
Don't
say.
waste no time. Yeah, 'cause you're never gonna get it back. No, 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 you're never gonna get it back. No.
Wicked vibes on that one from Inner Vision, featuring Million Styles. Fresh reggae flavours here this morning. That's what we've come to do. Bring some fresh flavours and enjoyment to the front line, as it were. Out to everyone who is working from home, I'd like to hear from you guys, hear what your sort of like new coping mechanisms are, your new sort of what you're finding yourself doing routine-wise. Like, what's changed? What is the sort of thing you're finding yourself that is bringing you comfort as you work from day to day? Is it the fact you can wear don't have to wear shoes at work. Sometimes I've seen a lot of people doing that. There's a lot of things to kind of take in when you're working from home as well. You do have to obviously keep yourself. It takes a lot of self-discipline. I won't deny that, but I feel by this point it's something that people are now getting used to. People have got their laptops set up. They've got their sort of group chat set up. They've got their Skype connections or their Zoom parties all set up by now. So I think it's a more normalized thing. So what we're going to be looking at here, out to Darb Surge, you sent a message in saying there's a lot of people out, seen loads of people going out in my area. They've passed a law anyways that means it's an arrestable offence for you to be outside now unless you have a proper reason. And to be honest with you, I think that's a good thing. I think realistically, we do need to be kind of pushed into staying inside because some people clearly are still not really listening to what's going on. Some people don't really believe what's going on. And the longer that happens, the worse it will get. Like that's what the science of every single country has said. That's what we can look around at it. I don't want to spend ages talking about this, but it is something I do feel quite strongly about. Just stay inside, people. It's not that difficult to do. Just stay inside. Find stuff to do. Find a new hobby. Find some way of enjoying yourself, essentially. So yeah, what we're going to be doing for the rest of this sort of first half an hour of the show is running through a lot of new bangers. We've got some amazing music from Demure to play. I've got to say, he's going to be joining us from around 10:30 with some sort of fresh dubstep vibes, fresh very musical dubstep vibes as well, I've got to say. It's going to be a very good week on Juno Download. We've had loads of new bits come in and some really, really experimental sounds. There's a new Crewcast EP coming out if you're into your bassline, which is full of their which is a new blood release, basically looking at all of their newer artists and showcasing them. And there's loads of dubstep bits as well, so it should be a very good week indeed. You'll see those reviews go up to date at some point. But yeah, let's get into another sort of reggae-ish roller then. This one coming from OBF, alongside Charlie P, Ira, and Killer P, which I'm really, really liking the sound of. This one dropped a couple of days ago, and I've only just seen it, so I'm a little bit late to the party with this one. But we are trying to play as much new music as possible on this show. We're trying to keep the vibes as fresh and as new as possible at all times. So let's get into this one. Inner This Your Time.
In the dark, they had no love in their heart, yeah. Whoa, say in this your time. Don't want to cry, I don't want to cry. Yeah. In this your time, get on youth blind in this your time. No respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time. Get a youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight.
Get the youth them in the street, them start kill for eat. I took down them brother fit them shoes on them feet. Them mama they a yard, a ball and a weep. Fear son get an eternal sleep. Something have to change, start rearrange. Me no want hear them talk, them devil too strange. Me see where them a walk, me put them in a range. Angel a get it soon, call them name. Sing again.
This your time, get a youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time. Get a youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight.
Check, in a this short time, it's not fine. Babylon a run down the youth all the time. And your mama frightened if we call 999. Cause she know them a commit them crime. Them a murder the youth them same time. And people a take on them for film crime. Killer for real and me have things on me mind. Oh, you can't see and you all a act blind. Oh, you still a search and still you can't find the truth. Don't misguide the ghetto youth. The army they are ready for rise and show. Me army they are ready for rise and I mean notice that them a recruit the ghetto youth. Them same one turn round and one shoot. Don't make me put on me 3-piece suit. And right down the gun them promote and they vote.
In this your time. Get a youth blind in this your time. Them no respect life in this your time. War and crime, the people them don't want to fight. Let me tell ya in this your time.
BF on this one, alongside Charlie P, Ira, and Killer P. Wholesome flavors. It's exactly what I am talking about. That's what I need in the morning. I don't know why there isn't a specific reggae show anywhere in the world for the morning that I've been able to find anyway. Excellent vibes on that one, and very much enjoying the sort of reggae-ish flavours we're going through this morning. There is always new reggae music for us to play, which we will be talking about. We'll be playing some more as we go. Do not worry about that for a second. So what I want to talk about here, this interesting bit of news that has popped up on my feed. Contactless payment limit has increased across the UK. The maximum one-off spending on the tap and go contactless card is rising from £30 to £45 in the UK from today. The British Retail Consortium, the BRC, clarified that while stores today will adopt the new contactless cap, shoppers might not be able to instantly take advantage of the increase everywhere, given the strain of COVID-19 has put on the retail industry. So this is something that is going to come into kind of like help with the scenario, but by the looks of things, it's going to take a little while to do, purely because people are short-staffed and there aren't as many people out, which is what we need. But because of that, obviously, there are disadvantages, meaning that there are less sort of engineers on the road, less sort of people to go around and actually change things. But yeah, the BRC's head of payments policy, Andre Cregan, said that last contactless limit increase was to £30 took 2 years to implement fully. But the extraordinary circumstances we face today, the new 45 limit will be rolled out from today. So there we go. It's already an improvement on the last time. Now, I'm assuming this is purely because they want to limit the amount of people that are physically touching different things, which is fair enough. It's a good idea. I actually quite like this as a concept. It means all you have to really worry about is basically making sure your card is, when you just wipe your card down afterwards when you go to do a contactless payment. It saves a lot of hassle of having to of touching all the machine and everything like that and putting the numbers in. And it's a minimizer. It doesn't completely change anything, but it does minimize risk, which is what everything is about them, and it's just minimizing risk. Some shops will take longer to make the necessary changes given the strain they're under. In the meantime, most customers can continue to make contactless payments for higher amounts using their smartphone. The latest measure is hoped to reduce the need for customers to handle the PIN pad, thereby reducing the risk of spreading coronavirus. There we go. It is entirely there to pretty much minimize the amount of contact that people are getting with things that other people are touching. Again, it's a good idea. It's not necessarily one that I would have even thought of, so it's definitely a good one. I'm a fan of this as a policy. To be honest with you, I've been wearing gloves, like surgical gloves, the entire time I've been going out. I've been wearing a mask. I've been wearing a hat. Like, I'm just trying to minimize the amount of things that can touch my skin more than anything else, because at some point one part of my skin will hit another, and another part will hit another, and another part will hit another, and then it's on my face. You know what I mean? That's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to keep it as safe as possible, which I don't think is a bad thing. You know what I mean? I think we need to be cautious in times like these, and I don't think you can be too careful in these scenarios. I'm literally going out as little as possible, which is probably why I'm getting a little bit bored at the moment. Realistically, I'm just running out of a lot of topics to do. But anyway, let's keep the good vibes rolling. We're going to get into this one next from Luke November. This one is Lady. I ran this one yesterday for the first time and really enjoyed it. Really unusual and a cool take, kind of blending R&B flavors with sort of new school Afrobeat instrumental styling. So we're going to get into this one now. It's just coming up to 20 past 10 here on the Brekky In The Cave show here on Cubcam TV. Don't go anywhere. If this is your first time watching, hit that subscribe button, please.
It's that Lois Elisa.
quick Nando's, I take you to a meal. Understand my plan, take you on a trip up on the ocean. But we hop in a helicopter on a vacation, yeah. I've seen an island run for no one, but this miracle up in me gonna move a mountain. This feeling real, me no need a potion. But first I must express my emotion, yeah. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I go love for my lady, oh. Glide through the night and bright spirit inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I go love for my lady, oh. Be by your side through the hard time inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I go love for my lady, oh. Glide through the night and bright spirit inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I go love for my lady, oh. Be by your side through the hard time inside, take you where I know that you like. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing.
Luke November on this one.
Gonna step on a cruise, nails done matching the outfit and shoes.
This one, lady.
Night out, well, I fill a room.
Lovely stuff.
Pally, pally, look at the full moon, yeah. Tick box for your smile is amazing. Tick box for your eyes, they're my favorite. Tick box for the fire that's alive, but the main tick box is for JC inside. No need to worry about others when it's you. Covering your back like a blanket in his shoes. Taking my time out to learn about you, and I pick up your ex because of him I'm with you, yeah. No need to worry about others when it's you. Covering your back like a blanket in his shoes. Taking my time out to learn about you, and I pick up your ex because of him I'm with you.
Ladies, I see the power in you, the power to give birth and bearing it too. Taking a house and making it home. All you want is love, you don't care for a throne. Not happy with your man, but you wanna feel secure. Need to look through his fake words and seek cure. Stops you from achieving, girl, and that's poor. Gotta kick it to the curb, cause you deserve more.
Bands, I love it. Faith, I love it. That big appetite that you got, man, I love it. Grace, I love it. Face, I love it. The character you got, I adore and I love it. Bands, I love it. Faith, I love it. That big appetite that you got, man, I love it. Grace, I love it. Face, I love it. The character you got, I adore and I love it. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I got love for my lady, oh. Glide through the night and bright spirit inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I got love for my lady, oh. Be by your side through the hard time inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I got love for my lady, oh. Glide through the night and bright spirit inside, take you where I know that you like. I'm a rapper, but I'll sing to you, baby. And you know I got love for my lady, oh. Be by your side through the hard time inside, take you where I know that you like. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, 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 yeah. I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing, I'ma sing. You deserve more than you got. You deserve more than you got. You deserve more than you got. You deserve more than you got.
Sounds of Luke November on that one. Wicked flavours, and I'm absolutely loving that one from start to finish, you know. Really unusual take on the sort of UK Afrobeat style, blending it very, very nicely indeed with the more sort of R&B style vocals. It works really, really well. I'm loving that one, to be honest with you. Good stuff. Luke November, go and check him out. He's got some wicked tunes out there. So in about 5 minutes or so, we are going to be jumping on the line with a man like Demure, which I'm really looking forward to. I actually need to work out how to pronounce his name properly, because I don't know if it's Demure Demure or Demure or Demure. I'm not too sure. It's Demure. Anyway, he makes bangers. That's what I want to talk to him about. And, well, I'll find out the name at the same time. But yeah, we've got a few things to talk about before we get into that. We do have a very special article dropping today on 3000.co.uk. Definitely one for the music producers out there. Now, I've noticed... across loads of different websites and loads of different platforms that people are starting to really ramp up the deals and offers on a lot of very sort of industry standard music software. So I've seen there's an offer for Logic Pro out there, there's an offer for Ableton Live, there's Native Instruments software that is basically going for free, there's loads of like phone apps as well that are now out there going for free. So I thought I'd put together a list of all of the best ones and compile them all into one place, which is dropping today on 3000.co.uk. So you'll be able to get a definitive list of all the strongest and best offers across the market, basically. That includes sample packs, phone apps, software, as well as plugins. Like, there's loads of stuff in there which will be dropping at around 1ish. So keep your eyes peeled for that. There'll be a lot of useful information in there. So yeah, we're going to run another banger before we move into this conversation with a man like Demure. We're going to get into this one. He's a dubstep producer, so we're going to switch the vibes up a little bit here. We're going to get into this new one from D2. This one is Stay Low. I don't know who the vocalist is on it. I have tried to find who the vocalist is, but I haven't had any luck in doing so just yet. So we're going to get into this one now. Just gone 27 minutes past 10 here. Out to all the locked in crew. This is Brekky In The Cave, and make sure you are hitting that subscribe button and leaving a little comment in the chat section. Oh yes.
Semi-tone. Don't you know that we're dealing with them heavy loads? Got that sauce that will make you feel hella blown. Think I'm hiding from it cause I hide the profit. Plug fucks with purple cookies, now we cyber dogging. You think you can touch this wave when we riding on it? No. Just sitting in the thick of it. Mind spread out of this maze when I'm sick of it. Nothing left but some Rizzler and a 50-bit. Thinking all these possibilities are infinite. We're getting wavy, getting swazy, getting faded every day until we make it to the Matrix. I wouldn't say I do this any other way because I'm stubborn and I'm growing to hate it. It's pleasure when we get together, nothing better. Feeling clever when I resonate the pressure car. I'm coming down, can't you feel the roof ticking off? Like a feather, I'm not joking when I make it up. Said, why is there no sunshine beside my face? I like to hide away when the skies are grey. So I just let this stormy weather come decide my fate. I used to say that if there is a will, but I can't find a way. Mixed emotions colouring in upon my rainbow. Is this my time? Cause I cannot win, no, I cannot say no. It's hard to say, but all I can say is I'm afraid so. Keeping it real, keeping it straight, that's why I stay low. 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 Keeping it straight, keeping it real, that's why I stay low. 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 Mixed emotions colouring in upon my rainbow. That's why I stay low. That's why I stay low. That's why I stay low. Keeping it straight, keeping it real, that's why I stay low. 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 Mixed emotions colouring in upon my rainbow.
Right then, we are live on the line with man like Demure. How are you doing this morning, sir? You good?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Morning. I'm really good. How you doing?
I'm good, sir. I'm good. Thanks for joining us on the line. Now, this as a conversation is quite an unusual one. How it came together. I think the first time I actually heard your material was literally when I got sent it to review for Juno Download, and I received this EP, and I was just blown away by it. I remember going a bit mad on Twitter when it first popped up, and like trying to find your at like literally all over the place. Before anything else, I want to get a bit of background into yourself. Like, how long have you been producing music at this point?
Oh man, I've been producing. It's just going over 10 years now.
Okay.
So I started off producing under an alias called Batman.
Okay.
And then that sort of like dragged me into a little bit of a corner, so I thought I'd sort of switch it up into more like ambient-y vibes. That was like sort of like what I was feeling at the time. And then from that, it just kept on going from there.
Okay, wicked. So like when you say ambient sort of vibes, do you mean more sort of like lo-fi-ish material, or were you still working in that sort of like dubstep realm?
It was like a hybrid two-step garage, like ambient, just non-stop, just chilled out vibes.
Okay, cool.
And that just went on for ages, yeah. But then I just wanted to get back into making the dubstep I wanted to make, so I thought I'd just combine the two of them together.
Okay, cool. So there is a lot of sort of like blending of sort of styles in your sound. Then I mean that's very evident to hear from when we start to listen through them. I'm sure people will realise straight away what that sort of what you sort of mean by that sort of blending of sounds. Like when we're talking sort of like music, then like what was the first thing that got you into producing?
It was actually my cousin back in Zimbabwe. He had a copy of Fruity Loops. He actually lied to me. So he had a copy of Fruity Loops, and then he was playing a demo song on Fruity Loops, and it sounded sick. And I was like, "Yeah, did you make this?" He was like, "Yeah, no, I made this." I was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, cool." I started trying to figure out like how did he make it, and then from there, I just thought, yeah, this is what I wanted to do, but didn't have the sort of the avenue to do it until I moved to the UK.
Okay.
And then I moved there. I think I was like 15 years old. And then I recognized the software on the computer in the music lesson. I was like, yeah, that's the software. Okay, I need to like learn how to do this. And from there, man, that's how it just started.
Wicked.
Just non-stop days of just learning everything as much as I could. And then I found out that he was just playing a demo song. And I was like, yo, dude, you made a demo song, yeah.
That must have been quite like a funny thing to go back and go, look, mate, I know it was a demo song all those years ago.
Yeah. I sent him the song. I was like, yeah, okay, I got you now. But yeah, that's how it all started, man.
Nice, man. Well, I mean, I like the kind of like it's an interesting story more than anything else. So, like, when you were back home, like, was there any sort of like music scene for what you're into now, or was it very much a case of you had to move over here to kind of like find the sort of the more community element of it?
Yeah, back at home, like it was it's really interesting back in Zimbabwe because we're so like we're influenced by music from outside a lot more than we have our own scene. So that we're mainly the main scene in there is gospel music. That's like what everyone listens to. So, but then you get pockets of different people who like American hip hop. Then you get dancehall for some reason is popping back in Zim as well. And then you get house music from South Africa. So then you just get this weird blend of I don't know, it's like a hybrid genre of just different types of elements from different countries coming into it. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, cool. So it's almost
that's what the main scene is. Yeah.
So it's almost like this sort of like big melting pot of different influences.
Yeah. So that's what that's where it's going at the moment. But back then it wasn't really, in terms of dubstep or like electronic music, it wasn't really like, there wasn't a scene at all until I moved here.
Okay, cool. So when you then moved here, like who were the people that you immediately kind of like latched onto?
So I started off with grime.
Okay.
Grime was the first thing I tried to produce. I think it was like is it Nocturnal or Noxtrumental?
Yeah, that's one. Yeah.
Yeah. I started listening to him, and then there was a mix with his instrumental, and then he blended. I think it was DMZ Haunted. And then I just latched onto that bass line. I was like, yeah, this is what I want to make. Like, this is it. Then I started researching and found out this is like its own genre, like dubstep. I just started listening to that, just non-stop. And then just latched onto DMZ, then went on to Digital Mystics anti-war dub, and then just kept on rolling off. And I was just stuck. Very into it for the rest of it.
Wicked, man. I mean, like when you sort of mention Nocturnal as well, I feel that is such a a typically sort of FL Studio grime sort of sound.
Yeah. It was him, and when Skepta used to make like grind beats, and JME, they used to like do tutorials and stuff like that. It's just that sort of vibe of that Fruity Loops vibe.
Definitely.
I thought it was like a Fruity Loops sound.
Definitely, man. It's very kind of like very. I don't want to say plasticky because that makes it sound like I'm putting it down, but that very kind of like electronic sort of horn sound or like electronic strings, and I think that's something that is very kind of it's not reminiscent, but it's something that is very kind of characteristic of that earlier grime period.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. I 100% agree with you.
Okay, cool. So we've got some absolute bangers to play for you today. We're going to talk about this. We're going to talk about Starlight first because this is obviously unless I'm absolutely tripping, I believe this was one of the tracks on the EP that I first found you off.
Oh, sick. Thank you. I appreciate the review, by the way, man. That was awesome.
Anytime, man. Like, literally, when I saw when I saw this EP come together, I was literally in like my work group chats and all the different ones. I was literally spamming it everywhere. It was like the full EP literally popped up, and I was going crazy for it purely because of how original it sounded, how new it was, and it was the fact that it was a name I hadn't heard of before, suddenly appearing with this completely like fresh, vibrant take on dubstep, which is an unusual one at the minute. Like, how do you feel about dubstep as a whole at the moment?
As a whole, man, I feel like it's starting to get ground again. I think like a couple of years ago, or maybe like 2 or so years ago, people were saying it's dying out, but I don't see it dying out. I feel like it's a lot stronger than it was in terms of like creativity. A lot more people are just being sort of free to explore what they want to do, and a lot of people are getting more receptive to sort of the whole creativity. So I feel like it's really good. Like, I don't see that it's going bad or anything like that. It's actually really stronger than it was. I feel like, anyway. Okay,
cool. I mean, I'm in the same position as you. I mean, I've just had a couple of conversations with a few people recently, like different dubstep producers that are saying they're actually finding it quite difficult to find something to latch onto at the minute because of that kind of mass. Because more than anything else, the sound has spread. Essentially, it has spread across like the realms of 140 as a whole, and there's so many influences now from that sort of like swampier sound all the way over to sort of like Eastern string influence and stuff like that. But yeah, it's just quite interesting to see. I mean, I'm as a sort of punter, essentially as a sort of reviewer more than anything else within dubstep. I'm really enjoying the fact that there's such like a wide range of stuff. Let's move into this like conversation about this EP then. So Starlight, what was the name of the EP that Starlight featured on?
Oh, Velizanti. It was I made an album for like my granddad recently passed away, so I thought it would be sort of good to immortalize his name. So all the elements within the album are sounds or like a latch of his character or something within his house.
Okay.
So within Starlight, there's Foley sounds, like little scratches hitting little tins, like switching his watch up. So it's just little elements of sounds that I put into every single track of that album has a sound that relates to my granddad.
Wow, I did not even look onto that. I mean, I'm assuming that's something that you I'm assuming that's something that's meant to be a bit more subtle.
Yeah. No, the beauty of the Demure projects is that I sort of wanted to sort of just start making music that I wanted to make, but then I was really literally blown away by the fact that people are sort of enjoying the music as well, but relating the music to their own like sort of personal feeling at that time. So yeah, with the Demure projects, it's just literally everything that I could have done was just to do it for him, if that makes sense.
Okay. I mean, this is really, really cool to hear, man. We're going to get into Starlight now. We'll talk a little bit more about it as a tune straight afterwards, so don't go anywhere. It's just gone 38 minutes past 10 here on the Cubcam YouTube channel.
On my telephone, so simmer down and send me tone. Don't you know that we're dealing with them heavy loads? Got that sauce that will make you feel hella blown. Think I'm hiding from it cause I hide the profit. Plug fox with purple cookies, now we cider dogging. You think you can touch this way?
Right then, that one going by the name of Starlight. We are on the line with Man Like Demure. This one is it's a banger, man. It is an absolute banger.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much.
I think the thing I'm latching onto most with your sound as well is the fact that you do have so many kind of like little subtle elements going on, be it the sort of horn sections going on in that one, be it the sort of very slight level, like the slight percussion going on. Like, talk to me about like when you're producing, what do you look to get into your tunes?
I'm going blind. I literally I'm always like influenced by the way I feel at the time.
Okay.
So if I'm feeling like in a really good mood, I sort of hone into samples that sort of make me feel sort of happier. But lately I've been really getting into using vinyl or sampling vinyl and just literally finding something that hits me at that point and then going from there. And then at the end of it, I then start to structure things a lot more, start recording more bits that are around me. I find like recording sounds a lot more that are like just real life sounds compared to what I used to do back in the days. It's like something that's like doing now. But yeah, if that makes sense, yeah.
Yeah. I'm interested to talk about the sort of Foley side of things, as in like recording stuff around your house. Like, how long have you been doing that?
I started that just 2 years ago.
Okay.
2 years, yeah. That something that I do like as a job, but then I wanted to sort of bring it into my music as well, because I was sort of caught in a bubble of just using either drum loop and then a synth and then that's it. And I just found that sort of like you're restricting yourself a lot more. But with Foley, everything's almost like an accident. So if like a sound, like if you hit like a tin pan and it sounds sick, and then it's got its own character, it's got its own like its own identity within the sound, and then no one else has that sample. So it's something that I just really like doing.
Definitely,
I keep doing it over and over again, yeah.
I can definitely hear that. I mean, the thing that does, again, one of the things that really does jump out about the stuff you're making is how individual it sounds. Like how refreshing it sounds. There's stuff in there that I've never heard before within tunes. Like with, for instance, within Starlight, as we're talking about that at the moment. Like you said, you were recording like different bits of Foley specifically for that. Like when we say Foley, like what is your process with recording? Do you like take the stuff to a certain location, or do you have like a hand recorder you use? Like what's the scenario with it?
Yeah, so with Starlight, it was I had a hand recorder, and then I think this was 3 years ago, and I had a chance to go back to home, which is Zimbabwe. Okay. And then it was the first time I could actually consciously move around the house and then be more aware of the sounds that I grew up with, and something I wouldn't have paid attention to back in the day. So I was just recording things that I found interesting at the time with a little handheld recorder.
Okay.
And then as time just moved on, I just decided, oh yeah, I've got these samples. Let me just sort of try to see where they would take me, like just the process of making the music.
Awesome.
And it just ended up here. Yeah.
Wicked, man. I mean, this is really cool to hear. So that means like when we're, I mean, probably why the tunes sound so individual is because these samples have like history, you know what I mean? These are samples that are essentially they're the sounds of your childhood, which you've then brought back across the sea or whatever, and then you've then put them into these tunes under a project which is basically you doing exactly what you want to do. So it's so you, if you know what I mean. Yeah.
That's that's why I'm so surprised that sort of people are actually enjoying it, like, because it's just a project that I put together and then I sent off to the label, and then that's why I like Dank and Dirty Sashwa. He's always sort of receptive to what I'm doing, and then he just thought, yeah, this is for you, and then it just rolled off, and then everyone else just started liking the music, so it's worked out really.
Wicked, man. I mean, again, I'm always interested to hear about the sort of production methods behind things, and like the sort of like thought processes that go into releases. As you said, the EP got really, really good feedback, and it got really well received. In regards to like, say when you're kind of putting a project together like this, was it a project that you pretty much built as an EP, or was it just sort of 4 tracks that you found worked together?
At the start, it was we started off with I think it was like 2 tracks, and then we had an idea of the EP just being 2 tracks and then an extra track on top of that. But then I just kept on sending in more and more tracks that were just sort of linking into each other with the same sort of elements together, and it just became like just kept on building up, and then it just kept, sorry, I'm just losing my words there. Yeah, it started becoming like almost like an album of elements that work together. And then it just came from that, really. I'm not sure if that makes sense.
No, it doesn't. I was going to say that is the single best problem A&R can ever have, is constantly being sent new bits that all work together. Because I can imagine the thought process he's going through. He's there. I'm assuming he's kind of there. Like, can you please stop sending me bangers, because I can't fit any more on, but I can't let any of them go. It's quite. It's a position I've been in before, and it is quite like a sort of position, but it's a good one to be in, rather than not having enough material. You know what I mean? It's always a good thing. We've got another collaboration to play. This one goes by the name of is it Moroi?
Moroi.
Now this one's alongside Rags. Talk to me about this collaboration. How did this one come together?
That was another happy accident. I just posted on Twitter. I'd made the track, and then it was just sort of missing like a live element to it. So I just wanted to bring in someone who can just sort of play and then go along with the vibe.
Okay.
And then I sent out a tweet saying, does anyone know a sax player? And then one of I forgot his name now. But yeah, he just tagged her into it. And then I sent her the track, and then she was feeling it as well. And within like 2 weeks, she just sent some, like literally 2 minutes. No, actually 3 minutes of just non-stop sax improvisations that just sounded beautiful. And I had to just literally take little sections of it. And everything just worked out from there. And then I sent it back to her, and then she was feeling it as well. I sent it off to the label. Yeah. So it just flowed. It was like a natural flow. And she knew the vibe straight away, so it just worked out.
I love it, man. I love it when collaborations aren't like forced, if you know what I mean. It's when you'll send something over and they'll go like, I know exactly what I want to do with this from the off.
Yeah, no, definitely. She she'd do like intricate sort of things that were off key, but then they were in key for another like a little segment, which is like a lot of people just sort of like want to structure things like, okay, this is the hook, this is the intro, this is that. But then she just kept on improvising, it just worked out. Like, it's perfect.
Awesome, man. Well, we're going to get into this one now. It's just gone 51 minutes past 10 here. We are live on Cubcam TV. And we are also live via the Breakfast with Kovu podcast. As I've said before, do head over to Spotify, SoundCloud, or Apple Music. Just search Breakfast with Kovu. The interviews and every single show will be up on there. Let's get into this one then. This one, Moroi with Demure, featuring the sounds of Rags. Don't go anywhere. again. We are live on the line with Man Like Demure. This one is Moroi featuring Rags. Wicked tune, really smooth flavours on this one. Again, pretty much personifying the vibe that I was talking about earlier with your sort of approach to dubstep music and just 140 music in general. Where do you see 140 music as a whole going over the next few years?
Wow, that's a difficult one.
I like the big questions, man. I like the big questions.
That's a really difficult one. Yeah, I feel like a lot more people are just going to start calling it just, well, it's going to have like little elements of it. We're all going to recognize it as 140 or dubstep, but then people are just going to start like subtly just say, no, this is its own like bass thing, whatever it is. But I'm positive about it. I feel like it's coming back like a lot stronger than it was. Definitely. Back in the 2010 side, yeah. I'm optimistic though.
I think more than anything that I'm finding is the structure seems to be there. I mean, you've got the labels, you've got the platforms, you've got the podcasts, you've got a lot more kind of infrastructure there than I'd say the first time stuff went around. Because the first time stuff kind of went around, people were shooting in the dark for a lot of it, and it was pretty much a race to see how quick you could get the bookings around the country, how quick you could get to that scale of being booked on a regular basis. Whereas now I feel there's a lot more structure, there's a lot more sort of appreciation, I'd say, for like structuring the underground levels rather than just the mainstream levels of things. From a perspective anyway, I'd say that. What would you say is your sort of big plan for the year?
Oh, for the year, it's definitely to finish more music. I had a stint where I stopped making music, just completely not wanting to make it or trying to make something that just got people's attention. But then now knowing that whatever I make, like I'm happy with, and if someone else is happy with it, if it's like 2 or 3 people, it just felt a lot more liberating. So yeah, this year just make as much music as I can, just be happy about it, and not be trapped in a bubble with it.
Nice, man. Well, that's good. That's what I like to hear. I like to hear that people are back on that sort of that vibe of, look, I'm making as much stuff as possible. You're going to see a lot more music from me in general. So we're going to finish up with a tune here. This one is a remix, I believe.
Yes.
With a track called Mist, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's the one.
So yeah, this one comes from Depth originally. Talk to me about how this one here came together.
Yeah, Depth is a new artist who's about to release an EP on Dank and Dirty Dubs, and Sashwat sent me a link saying that he wanted a couple of remixes for it. And then he's got this sort of this new vibe he has. It's almost like a Blade Runner theme song, or Blade Runner like a score mixed in with dubstep, and he breaks the rules, and it's something that like gravitated to and want to bring my own vibe to. So I'm excited for his EP, really excited for it.
Wicked.
So yeah, that's how the remix came up here.
Sick, man. Like, I think with stuff like this especially, I think remixing is a very delicate art form. I think a lot of the time people want to just take like a singular line and just do their entire own thing with it. Like how do you approach remixes in general?
I like to sort of keep the original elements as much as possible, but then sort of pitch them around and mess around with them a little bit more as the song progresses out. But I don't know, remixes, I found remixes slightly harder because you don't want to completely destroy what the original person's made, but then at the same time you sort of want to do. But remixes, it's always like a 50-50 thing of making it something destroyed as possible, or just keeping the original material and blending the two together. Yeah, I
find a lot of the time it's about kind of balancing and almost like a respect for the original tune, but the thing of like, look, I am here to put my spin on it.
Yeah, and with this one, it was sort of, I didn't want to take away any of his like synth elements because they were sick as they were. So yeah, now with remixing, I find that a lot harder. But yeah, I sort of approach it sort of with the respect of what the original artist has made, and then just add my own little tweaks to it and blends to it.
Nice, man. Well, what we're going to do is we're going to finish up with this one. So, what are you up to for the rest of the day then?
Oh man, I've got work later, so I've got a few podcasts to edit and then chilling for the rest of the day.
Nice, man. Well, that's at least you're busy though. At least you've got stuff going on now. I know there's a lot of people that are slowly but surely starting to lose their minds out there.
Yeah, I was gutted because I was meant to be flying home in the next month, but this is just all cancelled. So trying to keep forward. Yeah. Positive vibes, yeah.
Positive vibes, that's what we're here to do. So we're going to finish up with this one. This one is the Demure remix of Mist by Depth. Dude, thank you for joining us on the phone. It's been an absolute pleasure to talk and have a conversation this morning.
Dude, thank you so much for having me. Thanks for the opportunity and everything.
Anytime, brother, anytime. Keep sending me new music and we'll speak soon.
Yeah, thank you so much, bro.
Nice one, dude. Catch you in a bit. Bless. Cool. That was Demure. Absolutely amazing producer. You've been hearing some of the wicked vibes he's been putting out there. This one is his remix of Mist by Depth originally. We're going to get into this one and then crack on with a bit more news and a bit more kind of a few different things that are going on. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cubcam YouTube channel. Wicked tune, this one. Demure's remix of Mist by Depth. Amazing work. We're going to get into some more news in just a second. It's Cubcam TV. Wicked stuff there. That one going by the name of Mist, originally by Depth. That one is the Demure remix. Massive shouts out to him for jumping on the line with us this morning. Really enjoyed that conversation, to be honest with you. It's really cool to hear. I know he works in Foley and sort of music editing for like a sort of a day sort of scenario, so it was quite cool to hear his approach to music and the fact that he's been folding Foley sounds into what he's doing, and just in general, it's good. It's always good to meet new producers, man, especially when you originally are captivated by the sound they're making more than anything else. It's very refreshing. He had quite a few quite refreshing opinions on things as well. So we're going to be looking next at House Party, the app which has a very kind of hot or cold relationship with the UK general public by the looks of things. But yeah, House Party app is offering $1 million reward for the smear campaign proof amid hacking claims. While claims of hacking on House Party continue to emerge on the net, the owner of the app has now offered a $1 million, equivalent to just over £810,000 for evidence that the company is a victim of a smear campaign. The official House Party Twitter account tweeted, "We're investigating indications that recent hacking rumours were spread and by a paid commercial smear campaign to harm House Party. We are offering $1 million in bounty for the first individual to provide proof of such campaign." So they're pretty much coming out and saying, if you can prove to us that this is a false claim, we will pay you $1 million. So they're essentially incentivizing people to go out there and I don't want to say bend the truth or bend the rules, but they are kind of saying, like, look, if you can find a reason why this isn't actually the truth, we'll pay you pretty well for it. It's a little bit sneaky from House Party, I've got to say. This is a bit sneaky. The actual tweet they put out literally says word for word, "We are investigating in indications that the recent hacking rumours were spread by a paid commercial smear campaign to harm House Party. We're offering $1 million in bounty for the first individual to provide proof of such a campaign to bounty@houseparty.com. They've set up an email called Bounty. Oh, this is brilliant. The company believes the claim of hacking has been made up in an attempt to discredit the brand. House Party has also reassured its users that its information it's safe. All House Party accounts are safe. The service is secure and has never been compromised, apparently. And it doesn't collect passwords for other sites either. They wrote that in a tweet on March the 30th. Since coronavirus is forcing so many people to stay indoors to keep safe, House Party has been the choice of app for many wishing to have group calls with friends. Correct. The main reason I've used House Party, I'll be honest, is the games. I like the games on there. I like the heads up. I think that's quite fun to play with friends. I also like the trivia game as well, and I like Draw My Thing on there. There's some enjoyable games that you can play with friends that aren't too like strenuous. They're not too stressful. You don't need loads of organising behind it. You can just click and go and spend half an hour passing the time. You know what I mean? I actually did that literally yesterday with my girlfriend. So there we go. But yeah, the company said it feels humbled and grateful for people bringing people together in uncertain times. So, I mean, the thing with House Party is I do genuinely believe that the intentions of the app are good. It's such like there are elements in there that we haven't seen on other apps in sort of like a similar realm. There are elements on there. Obviously, the gaming side of things is quite cool. There are games on there that we haven't really seen on platforms before. Usually, you have to go to the Draw My Thing website to actually play Draw My Thing. So it is quite interesting to see how well it is doing. Just in general, more than anything else. But yeah, they've come out and said they'll offer $1 million. So if there are any sort of hackers out there, I know a couple of ethical hackers actually, so I might give them a bell, that they can find basically proof of this, then they will get paid very handsomely indeed. We're going to switch up the flavours next. This one coming from Galaxy featuring Ruby Wood. This one is Abstraction. I believe this one is out now via Shogun Audio. Out to all the locked-in crew, switching up the flavours into a bit of D&B and that for a Thursday morning. We're over hump day. It's nearly the weekend. You can all have that bev you've been waiting for. I'm looking forward to having a couple of strong bows tomorrow. It is Friday, of course. New music drops at the evening. We do have Fresh Fridays on the way tomorrow as well. We're going to be joined by Jake Bob on the phone as well as Duke Sky. So it's going to be a very enjoyable day tomorrow, but it's still today, so let's keep it going.
You've been on
Wicked flavours on this one from Galaxy, featuring Ruby Wood, Abstraction. Excellent sunshine flavours. That's what we like to hear.
I won't let you pass by when I'm with you, baby.
Just gone 13 minutes past 11 here. We are live on the Cupcam YouTube channel. It's Brekky In The Cave. That's all the locked in crew. If you are a first time listener, please make sure you are hitting that subscribe button. We're on a race to a hundo. As soon as we hit that big hundo, we can start really pushing stuff out there and putting some new music out there as well. That's the kind of plan. So, what we're going to be looking at for the next section of news is looking into this bit of an update from Apple, essentially, which is basically saying it was reported by Business Insider that the release of the iPhone 12 may be delayed until next year, meaning 2020 could be the first year since 2007 without a flagship iPhone release. This is a big deal, but I would have expected this considering what's currently going on. Whilst Apple still fret at the fort, the company's chief director, the chief development officer, Tech Enyaradi, has teased some information about the new device to keep anticipation high, and among the reveals, there's some exciting news for dance music fans. Now, this is where it gets a little bit interesting. The tech giant has enlisted the skills of 18 top global DJs to mix a bounty of curated Apple Music playlists, which will enable users to hear the playlists mixed in the style of their favorite DJs. So, interesting. DJs confirmed so far are Peggy Gou, Amelia Lenz, Calvin Harris, Adam Bayer, DJ EZ, Ricardo Villalobos, and the Black Madonna. They're the ones that have been enlisted so far. Now, this is interesting because I think I always feel DJ EZ gets left out of these sort of top 100 or top listing things. For me, DJ EZ is without a doubt the best kind of technically gifted DJ out there. I don't think there's many people that can do that. I don't think there's many people that can DJ for 24 hours and still be throwing out mad kind of like chops and blends and really playing with stuff to a different degree. And I just think in general he's very kind of slept on. I mean, out to everyone who did watch the stream that took place the other day, 24 hours again. I think it's the third time he's done it, or he's definitely done 24 24 Hours once before, and then he's done it again. He did it again a couple of days ago. But yeah, it's just awesome to see, man. I love seeing DJ EZ get to work, and more than anything else, the fact that he does support our music from a complete range of the scene. I mean, if you're playing 24 hours worth of music, you're going to have to dip into the underground eventually. But he just does it the entire time. He's not necessarily playing like the big club sort of hitters a lot of the time. He's diving, he's going into his emails, he's going into his promos, and he is playing his favorite stuff. You know what I mean? It isn't just like a list of top names he plays. He plays stuff from people across the spectrum, be it bass, garage, funky, tech house, anything. He does move around a lot, which is really, really cool to see. I'm a big DJ EZ fan, and it's just cool to see he's been enlisted in this. But anyway, on with the story. Speaking about the process, Tech and Yardi said it was great to be able to get such a talented bunch together and to really fit Apple Music to the iPhone 12 above any other streaming platform out there for dance music fans at the moment. Spotify, frankly, could never. That's what they've come out and said. They've come out and said that themselves. That's mad. I've listened through the development process, and it all sounds really authentic. Ricardo was really waved when recording hits. He was really waved, when recording his. That's a weird sentence. He was really waved when recording his and Clang the mixes, just like his legendary Fabric Room 1 sets. We were all cheering in the office when the recordings came through because there was a bit of Clang on there. To be fair, I saw a statement the other day. I can't remember who said it, but I think it was Scratcher DVA. I saw on my Twitter feed, came out and said that he likes hearing DJs clang a little bit because it makes it a little bit more real. It makes it a bit more realistic, and it makes it sound like it is actually happening and it's not all an automated process, which I can understand to an extent. I think that's why people really like listening to vinyl mixes a lot of the time, because you can really get that feeling of it's real. You know what I mean? It's not an automated process. It is quite an original thing, and it's not going to ever happen again. This exact way of this mix happening is never going to happen again. So there we go. It is quite interesting to do. He's also revealed that during the process of DJ EZ's mix, he ignited an electrical fire in the sound suite by whipping the pitch control back and forth too vigorously and creating sparks during one of his trademark pacey blends. I don't know if this is satire or not. Hope so, because I don't think that's ever happened anywhere before, literally ever. Amelia Lenz has curated a special old school trance playlist for the launch. I loved it, and I believe this is still Tech saying this. I loved going back to explore the classic bangers from that era, like The Fools and Meet Her at the Love Parade, and I hope it helps younger fans discover their brilliance. Not only 90s ravers should remember this. Here's hoping that the iPhone 12 does drop sooner rather than later. While we can't go out and see our favourite DJs, having them racked up playlists across iPhones would actually be quite a good thing to get into. There we go. That's the story. That one comes from Mixmag, who, by the way, Mixmag and DJ Mag, I've said it before on this show, but they are giving out some amazing content at the minute. I don't know if it's because the writers haven't really got any other commitments going on or whatever, but there is like 4, 5, 6 new articles going up every day on DJ Mag and Mixmag, which is really cool to see because they're all relevant to the culture of dance music primarily. So there we go. We are going to run another tune next. Now, this one it's not a new one. It's a bit of a classic for me. This is a tune I've been running for a few years and have been really, really enjoying. It's Samurai Eye with Rasta Na Gangster. We're going back to that sort of original reggae flavour. Don't go anywhere. It's the Cub Cam YouTube channel.
Now you're asking where they gone dev Rasta, but I don't know what you're talking about, so beg your pardon, Mr. Officer. I am a soldier for Jah, who's protected by the scriptures, and I no see no gun, but I'm looking in the face of a vampire. Rasta, na gangster, you represent the slave master.
Without a doubt, one of the biggest reggae tunes to drop over the last few years. 2017, I think this one dropped.
Rasta, na gangster, you are work for slave master. I'm here to set your people free. Peace is my philosophy. Mr. Officer, why you a do this? And I'm the king of this palace. Him said, don't speak to me, cause I was saved here by the beast. But truly I man know you a grudge me because me locks them a fool. Love ain't ugly, so let's unite and let the whole world know. Rasta, no gangster, you represent the slave master. I'm here to set your people free. Peace is my philosophy. Rasta, no gangster, you are work for slave master. I'm here to set your people free. Peace is my philosophy. Hey, will it bang bang, will it bang bang, will it bang bang? Hey, will it bang bang, will it bang bang, will it bang bang?
Wicked stuff there from Samurai Eye. That one, Rastana Gangster. Not a new tune by any stretch of the imagination. It is a few years old, but it's definitely a tune which did hit home for me when it did drop. It was a wicked tune, and it's definitely a tune I'm going to carry on playing into the future. So we are moving towards the end of the show. We're going to be finishing up with a track from Reese, which I was sent this week via Juno download. Definitely looking into a different side of dance music, sort of like euphoric breaks in its approach. But yeah, things to look forward to today. There are a fair few bits dropping. As I've said before, this podcast will be going up onto the Spotify playlist and SoundCloud playlist. You can check out, just search Breakfast with Kovu, the interviews, that's KXVU, and you'll be able to find the playlist. Subscribe, listen through all the interviews. There is literally so much on there that you can check out. I would really recommend doing so more than anything else. So what we're going to be finishing up with is looking through what we've had on the channel this week. We've had a Third Age video, we've had a Fortnite video, we've had the Minecraft minigames video yesterday. We've got another edition of Third Age today. I'm going to try and get another Third Age video recorded today as well. But yeah, there's loads of stuff, man. There's loads of stuff. Then we've got this big article dropping on 3000.co.uk as well, which is going to be pretty much looking into basically the best places you can get fresh production tools today. Basically, there's loads of companies putting on big offers. That's going to be dropping at around 1ish, so do keep your eyes peeled for that if you are interested in doing a bit of production sort of stuff. As well as that, tomorrow I'm going to be joined by Duke Sky and Jake Bob for Fresh Fridays, looking through all the latest releases and looking through Jake Bob's brand new release, Rural, picking a couple of tracks off that to talk through, and it should be very enjoyable indeed. Don't go anywhere, guys. Please make sure you are subscribing to the channel. Every subscription does make a big deal, and it does change things significantly when we hit 100 subs. So that's pretty much what we're on the race to do. So we're going to finish up with this one from Reese. This one is Bamboo of Kyoto. Wicked tune, and I can't wait to get into it, to be honest with you. So let's do it, and I'll see you all in the morning. Have a good day, guys. Stay safe, stay inside, and yeah, we'll see you soon. Goodbye!